Hello, I want to show you the Space Alone. Here is the setup for one player. Here's all elements we need to play a solo game. Here we have the map. We choose before the game the one from 14 planets. Here we have the mission card. We also choose the mission card before the game. Character card always, and the spaceship. When there is more players, we need more spaceship and character cards. We have always one mission card and one map. The maps are different for 1 or 2 players and 3 or 4, but only change is the number of resources on the map. There is a lot more when there's more players. So first setup on the character card. We mark the oxygen, we mark the energy level, we prepare the markers for biological materials, minerals, radioactive materials and science points. Also on the time track of the game we set the one token. Here we have the spaceship where we have only to prepare our energy level of our spaceship, and rover, marker and drone. On the map we have to have our astronaut, meeple or standee, and our spaceship. In some mission there will be also the enemies, the Lunacar, so we can prepare their standees or any markers for them. And we have the first setup in the mission card. Here we have the number of players we can play, the mode of the game, the cooperation or versus, number of spaceships we can have in the game, and here we have what we have to prepare also. So like in this mission, starting energy of our ship is 1, so we have only 1 for the beginning. Here we have our task to do and the time limit. So we have to prepare the game for each mission. We have to, at the beginning of the game, before the game, choose 1 from 3 starting point, landing point of our spaceship, and we put the marker there, and that is our starting point for the game. So how it works? Of course we also need the variety potential and 4 dice. Here is the marker for the contamination we can get in the game. Okay, so how it works? Here we have our marks for the oxygen and energy, and when we end the turn of the game we set the time marker to the next field. And when we get to the icon of oxygen or energy, we lost this position. And when we lost all of it and we have to take the oxygen, we lose our health level. And when we lose our last point, we just end the game. We lose. So that is the basic rule of the game. That's first way to lose the game. Second way is not achieving all tasks in the mission before the end of the mission. We have the 18 rounds basic, and if mission can give our more time, we are going from 18 to 19, 20, 21, and maximal range of the game is 26, but usually less. Okay, on our character card, here we have the health, oxygen and energy. Here we have our resources, 3 resources, biological materials, minerals and radioactive materials. When we get any from map, we just mark it on the track right here, the maximum amount we cannot have more. And at the end of the game we will get the points for each one here. And sometimes in the game we can also gain the research points, and we also mark it the same way like other things. About the oxygen and energy, we can have more than 3 by upgrading this by science point and biological materials in the case of oxygen, and with the science point and minerals with the battery level. And during our expedition we can use the portable laboratory market here to make the oxygen by any dice of any value, or and 1 biological material, and battery can be charged by any dice and radioactive materials. Here we have our crafting. We can discover technologies here. That is a very important thing in the game. Here we have 3 basic technologies to gain more basic resources from the fields. When we upgrade it, when we discover it, we can always get 1 more from basic fields of these resources. It's work like basically like here we have the minerals. When we are on the field with the minerals, we just spend any dice for that, and we can get it by scratching over. That is no more on the map, and we getting this mineral. But if we had this technology by using the 2 and 6, we could always get 2 instead of 1 from that type of field. And the second thing, if we can take it anything from the map by any dice from these resources, but if we get this value is marked on the field with this resource, we just gain the science point in this moment. Here we have the transmitters. That is a thing very useful in many missions. Here we have our shield, and how works the shield. We have on the map the contaminated areas, like with the triangles, the green ones, and when we get on this kind of field, we get our contaminations, and every time we get on the field, we get the amount of contamination, the number of triangles here. So going here, I would get the 2, and when the contamination level is maximum, I get I'm starting losing health instead of gaining more contamination. So I have 2 tactics to avoid it. I could just walk by the fields there is no contamination. I can get the contamination on my astronaut and next try to heal up in my spaceship, or the best way to discover the shield, and shield always give me the one safe zone, so I get the level 1 of contamination is always defended, and for each more like I want to get on this field, I have to spend any dice to get to this field without contamination. But I have to do this in any field, so going here I should spend another one, so this have to be well planned to travel around the map where there's a lot of fields. Here we have the solar panels, very important thing. We have few sunny areas on the map, and only on these areas I can build the solar panel when it was discovered. So when I get the dice number 2 and 1 mineral, This is scratched over, and from now for one any dice, this is marked here, I can build the, on this field I standing, the solar panel, but the solar panel so long from my spaceship give me nothing, because I have to build the power grid to my ship to start gaining energy, and I'm doing this by walking to my spaceship and spending also any dice. But at this moment, the good idea is to show how the walking works. At the beginning of each turn I have 4 dice, and I can spend it to movement any of them, and I can walk the number, the value of the dice. So with this one I can walk the 5 fields, and step also can stop earlier. And to build the power grid I just get another dice with any value, and this will build the grid at the fields I walk it by this movement dice. And from this moment my spaceship is charged by solar panel, and every round my ship will gain, at the end of the round my ship start to gain one energy. But that is also I can also get a few solar panels charging my spaceship, but then I will get the 2 points any round. But this is a little bit also dangerous, because when I have the full energy and I'm still gaining, I can get the failure and get my generator broken, and I have to repair it to get energy in the future. So that's the very value thing of the solar panels. Next we have the laser weapon, also very handy. When I have this, I can first of all I can fight. Without it I cannot fight, and without shield I cannot defend in the fight with my enemies, the Lunacore, and also with when fighting against other players. So when I meet enemy, when I'm on the field near the enemy, I can use the help card always, and here we have the values of the fight, and this fight look like when I meet in my turn, I'm going to the field near the enemy. My turn is end. I lose all my actions at this moment, and for first I if I have the shield, I take any amount of dice to defend. Like I get the 2, so I have two dice of defense, and rest I'm making a throw and reading the fight label. 1 is 0 attacks, 5 is 1 attack. So I get 1 attack point and 2 defense point. And now I'm throwing for my enemy and read his one. So in this case he have 1 attack point, 2 attack points, 3 attack points, and 1 defense point. So I didn't kill him. Firstly I check I can kill him in the first attack, so my attack against his defense, so I didn't hit him, so he attacking me, and I have less, he have 3 attack, I have 2 defense, so I'm getting 1 contamination level then after this fight. If I have the contamination level at the highest level, I'm losing the health, and enemy is still standing on the same position. And if I don't go out in the beginning of next turn, I will have to fight again. Enemies also move like for the enemy I'm throwing here as enemy. All of them have the movement points. I have throwing for each of them, and here we have the five direction here and 4 points, so he is going here, and I'm doing this repeat for all these enemies. If they come to field near to me, they are attacking the player. Also, the laser gun is very useful for gaining more resources, because on the map there are also cargo drones, the old technology from previous missions left in the at the planet. If I have the laser up unlocked, when I go to the cargo drone field, like here, for any dice, like at the basic resource file field, I can get the free of any resource. So like going here, using any dice, it's best to use the 6, because I also will gain the research point. I will gain the free of radioactive material, and this is also the one time, so I will switch over after getting this. Okay, here we have the size base. This is a thing for many missions, very useful thing, and many missions need to build a science base. Here we have very interesting thing, the jetpack. Jetpack improves our movement. First of all, we have chasms here. We cannot pass over, like we cannot pass the big rocks. We cannot pass them anyway, but we can go through the chasm when we have unlocked the jetpack. But it's not only this function of jetpack, because our movement rules is a little bit changed, because for any dice with any amount, we can go in the any number of fields in one line. So with using this, even this would be a 1, I can fly in one line that long I want to stop, or I cannot go more. And I spend this dice, and I can spend another one to go also in any direction. So this movement works totally different, and on some maps it will be a real game changer. And the last one, technologies, are the advanced technologies to mining the resources. When we have this of technology, we can mine the resources from the rocks. Some of the rocks, like here, when we have no we don't have this technology, this field works like obstacle, like the big rocks. We cannot pass through this. But when we have this technology, we can go on this, and by any dice we can also get the 5 of any resources. So this is a big deal for the game, because we always fight with the resources. So this is a good thing to us. Okay, here we have our spaceship. So there are many of spaceship rooms. Here we have the most important, the generator, and at this case I will show how rooms work. Here we have what we have to do to repair it. Some of the mission told us that we have broken rooms, so we have to repair it before we can use it. Like in this case, we have to use 1 mineral and dice of value 3. To charge this room, we have used 2 radioactive materials, and then we can use it to charge our battery by 1 dice for 1 or for two equal dice going to next threshold. These are seen it here and here, so from this level to this and this level to this. And this also work in the case of oxygen. When we upgrade it, we can go also to threshold here, so we can going up to this level and from this to this by the biological matter room. I will tell you later. Other rooms are connected with the generator, and to charge them we have to repair sometimes the power supply, this connection with the generator, and sometimes this is also damaged. And like in this case, if the mission told me the power supply of this room is damaged, I mark it here, and like mark here, this is a damaged room. I have to repair it, so use the 6 and 5 dice. Here I have to use 2 dice, one bigger than the other, so like 3, 1. Next I have to use the energy, so I get energy of the ship, and now I have charger room, and now I have only to activate it, and I doing this by using any dice. And now I have activated this room, and this is also the very useful room, because allows us to control the ship when we are out of the ship, because normally we have to be here to make actions on the ship, repairing or gaining any things, and when we have this station, we can do it from any place on the map. Like here I can using other rooms. Here we have our warehouse. We are locking here the resources, but we cannot get it out, so we doing is only for mission or only for a big amount of points. When we have full of this, can be also be very task of the mission. Here we have the engine, very important thing in many missions. We have to charge it with a lot of resources and activate it by science points. Of course, to charge it we also have the power supply not broken. Here we have the drone and the rover. When we activate it and when we like charge it and getting these resources, we getting on the ship position, and we can use it, and this is very useful thing. The drone can move 6 fields by any obstacles. Like here there's big rocks unable to pass by player, and also can get any resources. Like here I'm going for radioactive material. I'm just writing the R here or marking it by prepared token, and when I in the next round I'm putting this to the ship. I can start here, or I can give it to player to make it like this. Also, the drone is great thing to completing the additional missions. Here we have the 4 missions to complete 4 points, or at the mission task. We can collect the soil samples, the crystals. We can make a map of the area, or we can make the borders of the science map, and we can do it by drone or the rover, but the drone is much better to this. We're doing this like the same rules for the players. And here we have the rover. It's much less mobile. It's the same obstacles for the player also stop it. He can move always 3 fields, but also the big thing of rover is it can build power grid. In this mode he can move 2 fields like here, and it making a track. So it's not getting action of player. This is additional thing. Always can use the movement of drone and movement of rover, and rover also can get 2 resources and bring it to player or to ship. Of course, when a rover or drone getting to the ship, it can be also used in any field on the ship, like not only on the warehouse. Okay, next room is the biological laboratory. This is the best way to get the full of the oxygen in fast way, because when we get this working and activate by one biological material, we just getting the maximum level to the threshold. So for the 2 biological materials, I can get the full 5 of the oxygen if I have upgraded. So this is a pretty cool thing. Here we have the science laboratory, and the level 1 is always available, and level 2 and level 3 have to be by using this dice can be upgraded. So for level 2 we need 3 and 5, and when we have level 2 we can upgrade to level 3 for 1 and 4, and this and also that have to be charged by battery, of course. And this is we can use many times. This symbol science we can use many times, and we don't stretch it. There's also like here for transmitter, like here for shield, and this is many time use, like here. And we can get the science points from this. So at the level 1 we can use 5 and 6 to gain 1 science point. Science point is very useful, not only for the mission but and for the creating things, but also by the 1 science point I can change value of my dice for any other. So when I have a lot of science point, I can change to any dice I need, and this is really important thing. And at level 2 I have to use 3 and any dice to create science point, and in the level 3 for dice of value 1 I can make a science point. Of course I can use all of them. So if I have 3 level, I have big chance to make the science point. Here we have the medical station. I can heal the contamination here, or 2 levels even. And for biological material and 2 5s, I can also heal my health, so I can save my life sometimes. And the last one is the custom room, the most interesting thing in the rule book. We have all the custom rooms, and before the game, if the mission allow us to get any custom room, we just choose which one from the 6 we want to have. The defensive system by which we can attack the enemies by setting the transmitter on some place, and then if any enemy is near the transmitter, we can destroy it easily without fight. Chemical laboratory that allows exchange resources from one kind to other. Anti-radiation chamber that allow us to easily get all of the contamination from our character. Logistics station that make easily travel around the map, because we can travel by the power grid. If we have good power grid on a lot of power grid on the map, we can move it by this for 1 dice on any amount of fields. Science computer that allow us to easily change the value of dice we have, and geological station that will allow us to pass through the the big rocks. That is impossible without it. Okay, and that is most of knowledge I want to give you. The game is much easier than looks like, but because there's only a few mechanics although, and I have hope everything I said is any useful. I'm sorry for chaos. I'm really bad speaker and I'm a little bit stressed by now, and I wish you good play. I'm very hope you will enjoy this game. That was a lot of work to make it. So I'm very happy you will try it. So see you later and have a good fun.